Elephants are the largest land mammals, and one day they roamed the Americas, Asia, and Africa. Today, there are two species of elephants in Africa: the African savanna elephant and the African forest elephant, and one in Asia who lives in areas with diverse terrains and vegetation, from sea level to high altitudes. An adult elephant can reach an impressive 4 meters in height and 7,000 kilos in weight. No other land mammal today weighs even half of that. Elephants are creatures with large brains. They're intelligent and curious. Their minds are always at work, even when their bodies are at rest. In the wild, they're active for at least 21 hours a day, exploring, locating, selecting and extracting food, looking for water, interacting with other elephants and other species. They roam an average of 18 kilometers a day, and their home range varies from 100 to 11,000 square kilometers. They're highly sociable and communicate in various ways, even by detecting vibrations through their feet. An elephant can communicate with others even if many kilometers apart. Elephants live in complex societies and maintain very close and long-lasting relationships. When something happens to one of them, the whole family suffers. If a baby loses its mother, the trauma, grief, or predators will often kill it. Every day, approximately 100 elephants are killed in different African countries to feed the Ivory market, which represents more than 30,000 elephants a year. The death of each elephant causes a great impact on their society. More deaths can happen since whole families are destabilized. If we do not manage to stop the ivory trade, many elephant populations in Africa will soon be eliminated. Predatory hunting to feed the illegal ivory market and disputes with humans for space and other resources have in many areas created a circle of violence. Without space, elephants simply cannot survive. The Maasai say there are 2 different hours of the day in which they have problems with the elephants. In the evening, when elephants are returning from the forest to the hot springs, and people are at the same time leaving the hot springs towards home, they meet on the way and problems occur. And in the morning, when elephant families of 4 or 5 leave the hot springs towards the forest, using the same path as the children who are walking from distant villages to school. The use of elephants in transportation, rides and entertainment, and the capture of calves to be sent to circuses, zoos and temples are also a risk for the species. The suffering imposed upon these elephants and their families in the name of entertainment and tradition is horrible. In circuses in many zoos of the world, elephants are confined and chained, suffer physical punishment, and are made to perform tricks, assuming positions that are unnatural to the species. Besides that, they suffer from psychological and physical illnesses. They develop abnormal behaviors which are never observed in the wild, such as repetitive swinging of the head and trunk. Solitude and the total absence of mental stimulus and physical activities result in the fact that their biological and behavioral necessities will never be met. Sanctuaries and organizations were created to defend and protect these animals. Sanctuaries like Tez and Paws in the USA are home to elephants who worked in circuses and zoos for most of their lives. We need sanctuaries for troubled elephants in other countries as well. The David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust in Kenya shelters and cares for orphan elephants who, in the majority, lost their mothers because of the ivory trade. Organizations like ElephantVoices work with research, conservation, sharing of knowledge, and advocacy, also acting as a global voice for the elephants. However, all these efforts aren't enough for the conservation of elephants. The involvement of each one of us is necessary so that these animals can survive and be respected, being part of the ecosystem of which we ourselves are dependent for our own survival.